Hello and welcome to our channel. Today in the garage we're working on the Boxster 986. The plan is to change the rear control arm links, the variable valve timing solenoid covers, and also install wheel spacers, 15 millimeter wheel spacers on all four. But for the time being, we're gonna focus on the rear control arms. To do that, you need to get your vehicle up in the air, as you can see. I supported the front with these tire stoppers to prevent the vehicle from potentially rolling forward. These are on both sides. In the rear, I have jack stands set up in the jack point, and I have my jack sitting on the rear jacking point. Take the wheels off, take the wheel cover off. There are two plastic 10 millimeter bolts, and then it pulls out, and then there's an underneath cover that you need to loosen and pull out, which is what I'm about to do next. The part that we're replacing is this guy right here. It goes from the control arm, the rear control arm, right there, and and it bolts on the inside over there. I believe it's 17 millimeter bolt. The top bolt stays there, the bottom bolt comes out, and then this one should not have a problem accessing. So we'll get into that in a minute. I'm gonna work on removing maybe this side first. And first I need to remove the shield. This shield, because it covers, it doesn't give you access to the bolt inside. And yeah, and then the same thing from the other side. We remove the cover. Here's the cover. It has two plastic 10 millimeter bolts, and then those screws are from the underneath cover. And you get to do the rear control arm link. All right, I'll be right back once I get that going. So we got the old control arm link in the rear, and we installed a new one. What we had to do is use a 17 millimeter wrench. I like this Craftsman because it's the thin one and it can fit in a lot of tight spaces. It's hard to find these days, but they're not impossible. You don't need it because a regular 17-inch will fit just fine, because that's needed for the stop bolt right here. The bottom bolt is 18 mil. I'm using 18 mil and the impact gun. This guy is super powerful. And on the inside, in there, as you can see, there is no top bolt. It's a stud built in, so which is perfect. Thank you, Porsche, for doing that. And on the bottom is an 18 mil bolt that I accessed from the bottom. I need a flashlight down here. So, and then it comes out very easily. The bolts drop off, and you want to be careful that when you install the new one, the curve is toward the outside. This is how it comes out, and the curve is toward the outside. Here's the one for the other side. You don't want to install it in this direction. I mean, it's very clear, but you never know. It could be an honest mistake. The easiest way to do it is to fish this end in all the way to get this fork style around the control arm, and then maneuver the other side in its position. When this locked in its position, you can insert the bolt and get the threads going, and then you can situate the fork end of it on the opening, and then you tighten it. I tightened mine with the impact gun, and then I used a torque wrench to get it to the 160 foot newton, sorry, not foot, foot-pound. That's the measurement. I was trying to think of what it was in the Newton meter force. So this side is done, and now we're gonna move on to the next side. The same procedure, you're gonna loosen the bolts and remove the old control arm link, and then do the same thing. Make sure that it's positioned correctly and torqued correctly for your safety. Next, we're gonna move on to replace the valve variable timing solenoid, which is this guy. We're just replacing the cover. We're not replacing the whole thing. My suspicion is that this guy is leaking. All right, so now we took the old variable cam timing solenoid cover, the seal cover off. It goes right here, and it was not fun taking the top bolt. They are M8 bolts. They are torqued to 7.5 or 7 foot-pound when you put the new one in, if you want to know the torque specs. The suspicion is that this is what's causing the engine oil leak at this point, and we have pretty good proof that that's the issue. So to take it off, you have to disconnect the connector, it's pretty hard to reach. This is the connection, and it's actually all the way in the back. At the top, it connects to that guy. It connects here, and it did look oily. I don't know why, but it connects here. It's a difficult one-handed. You have to depress that clip on the top and pull the connectors from each other. Make sure you don't put tension on the upper wire circuits. Once you can disconnect this, you need to remove the M8 bolts. Here are the M8 bolts and the old cover. After you remove the M8 bolts, the top one is a little bit annoying. Then you pry or you push a little bit on it with a flat head on the edge to get this guy out. I don't know if you can see here. It doesn't look terrible, but somehow it seemed leaky. So we're putting the new one on. No one in the cover, please. No in the back. Thank you. So this is the new one. Here's the part number if you need to order one. It looks like this. Make sure that you oil it before you install it, which is what I'm going to do in a minute here. I'm gonna put some engine oil on it, new engine oil, and then the installation is the reverse process. Make sure the connector seal is clean before you install the connection back together. Just got the second solenoid cover removed, and there it is. This one was not leaking, but I figured I don't want to wait till it leaks since I already did the other one. These are the two bolts. Getting the connection for this one. Where is the connection? I'm not even in the right place. Let's tie it down here. So making this connection, it's not gonna be fun. It was hard to remove it. Here's the other side, and there's the new control arm. I have to make that connection somehow. It's a very narrow place. This job would have been a lot easier had I had a lift, because jacking up the car works but is not ideal. This is a one-handed connection. It's a very tight space, and laying down on your back is not going to give you the ability to maneuver your arm around. It's not impossible, because otherwise I won't be able to make this connection. It's just that it's not the easiest. It's pretty difficult to make this connection, so keep that in mind, and hopefully you have small hands as well. That would help. Okay, I'm gonna try and make this connection. Wish me luck. And after the connection is made, there's a place to secure the connection so it doesn't rattle around or come undone. So that is also helpful. All right, the spacers are here. We get to install them today. Let's take a look at them, make sure everything looks good. If you need help, yeah, come help me install them. This is the information. Okay, we don't need that stuff. Oh, here's the goodies. These are 15 millimeter. Where does it say? Strange, this one is not printed. Usually they print the dimensions on here. Might not see it. All right, let's go install these on. And now it's time to put on the spacers. I'm gonna go with the 15 mil spacers. These are the spacers. Here's this one, and we're gonna install it in a little bit, put the tire on. When installing the spacer, make sure you're getting a hub centric, and make sure that it sits flush. And then you have to use elongated bolts or taller lug nuts so that you have a good grip. I think the torque is 96 foot-pound. I'll have to double check. And we're done. The Boxster is back on the floor. We've replaced the rear control arm links and the variable timing valve solenoid covers, and we also installed 15 millimeter spacers. Here's the spacers in the front. They're sitting nice and tight at 96 foot-pound. They're flush, they look good, they improve the look. I could have went with 20 mil, but I think I'm happy with the 15. I don't want to have any rub condition. Time to take it for a drive, but unfortunately the weather is not helpful. It's been raining all day, so we will end the video here, and without a test drive, that's gonna have to happen another day. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section. Follow and subscribe. Thank you for your time. Hope you got a lot of help from this video.